There's been some news articles lately that have led to an increased level of awareness with regards to radon gas inside your house and the threat it poses to your family's health. Specifically, the threat of lung cancer. It's the number one cause of lung cancer in Canada next to smoking. So it's a serious threat, and there's some steps you can take to mitigate that threat. The first thing you need to do to determine if you have a problem in your home is to purchase a detector. In some cases, they're free for the long-term detectors, and determine what the levels are inside your home. The radon levels are measured in becquerels per cubic meter. This particular detector by Airthings is the Airthings Corentium Home, and it'll give you a reading almost immediately, and then as time passes, it'll give you readings by the day, and then over a 7-day period, and then the long-term average. This sells for about $150 or so on Amazon. In some cases, you can get free detectors. It depends where you live. They're long-term sort of dose meters about the size of a silver dollar or so, and you place those in your basement, let them sit there for a minimum of 90 days, and then send them off to a lab for a reading. So there's an inexpensive method to do that, or if you want to purchase an item like this, you can get a reading fairly quickly.
And here's what one of these long-term dose meters look like. Whether you choose this version or the electronic version, you'll want to check a government source to make sure you purchase something that's been approved.
So radon gas, you can't smell it, you can't taste it, you don't know it's there, but it's a significant threat.
In Canada, Health Canada recommends taking action to remediate radon gas if you're getting readings that are 200 becquerels per cubic meter or higher. All I can do is advise you to check your government sources no matter where you live in the world to determine what's deemed safe by your own public health officials.
Once you've determined you have unsafe radon readings in your home, this is what the radon mitigation system looks like. So we'll come back to that, but the first thing that needs to happen is you need to seal up your basement. So you want to survey your entire basement floor for cracks, and we had a fairly large crack here. You seal that up with polyurethane elastomeric sealant. There are specific sealants made for radon, but if you use a polyurethane sealant, that should work just fine. We had another one here that we filled. It goes under the carpet, but that's stretched from underneath the furnace here all the way to this wall, so we filled that. So you can see that our basement walls are finished with plywood, and there's a 2x4 framing behind that, but this is our cold room. But if you have an open concrete basement like this and there's gaps between where the concrete floor meets your foundation wall, consider filling those with some sealant as well. Then the last thing you want to do is seal up any protrusions that are through your basement floor. So one of the main ones in terms of radon is your sump pit, if you have a sump pit in your basement. So this sump pit cover is a replacement from the stock cover, which completely seals up the sump pit. So there's a gasket around that and some sealant, and it's attached to the floor with these tap cons. And this is made by the company called Safe Basements, so you can purchase those quite easily. There's several companies that make them. So this essentially seals up your sump pit. So with all the cracks in the basement floor sealed and the sump pit is sealed, you can go ahead and start installing the radon mitigation system. So what this consisted of was drilling a 4-inch hole for this 4-inch PVC pipe, drilling a hole in the floor, down through the concrete to the gravel, and then digging out about a 5-gallon bucket's worth of gravel or whatever materials below your floor to allow the pipe to extend into a cavity to draw the air from.
And here's a diagram of what that would look like. So you see the void labeled soil gas collection sump. That's where you'll be drawing air from and exhausting the threatening radon out of your home.
So this will draw air from under the basement floor and exhaust it outside your home. In our case, we have radiant heat in our basement floor here, so we had to rent a thermal imaging camera so we could determine where the heating lines were in the vicinity of this hole we had to drill in the basement floor. The last thing we wanted to do was hit a heating line. So that solved that problem for us. So this is 4-inch PVC pipe. It's made by IPEX Incorporated, IPEX, and it's type 1 grade 1 pipe, and it extends up here to the Radon exhaust fan out through the foundation wall. So again, a 4-inch hole had to be drilled in there and a 4-inch hole in the floor. So below grade here, when the pipe was extended below the floor into the void that was dug out, again, it was about a 5-gallon bucket's worth of material that was dug out simply by hand, dug out from below the basement floor. There's a 45-degree angle cut on the bottom of that pipe, and that's to allow for a maximum airflow, reduce any chance of blockage, and prevent any air dead zones that may happen if you had just cut it straight across. So a 45-degree angle at least on the bottom of that pipe before you extend it into the void that was dug out. Our radon vent exits the foundation and goes underneath our deck here, a run of about 12 feet or so, and then exits the side of the deck with a critter cap over the top of it to prevent any critters from getting in. And another important note is to have a slope on this pipe of about a 1/4-inch drop for every foot. So any condensation that builds up inside the pipe will drain out at the exit point. Here you can see on the side of the pipe, there's a plastic hose that goes inside the pipe, and it will give you an indication whether you have positive pressure on the fan. So as long as you have an offset bubble here, you know that it's constantly exhausting the radon out of your basement. The Radon fan is made by Fantech, and its model is RM1, Fantech, F-A-N-T-E-C-H. Another important consideration is an electrical outlet to run the fans. We have a dedicated circuit here for the Radon fan. So on the top and bottom end of the fan, these are rubber couplers here and here. And they're made by Fernco, it looks like. And again, fan is by Fantech, model number RN1. So this runs 24 hours a day, as I mentioned. And if you just listen, it's really not that loud. So here's an overall look at the system. Main component of the system here is the pipe that goes below the floor into the void. The exhaust fan that runs 24 hours a day exhausts out through the foundation and out under our deck, extends about 12 feet, and then pops out on the side of our deck. The second major component to this is your sump pit cover. And by installing this radon system, we went from readings that were in the 800s, and you can see here our 7-day average is 9 becquerels per cubic meter. Here's day one day average of 4 becquerels per cubic meter. And then long-term average, since this detector's been installed, is 11 becquerels per cubic meter. So our risk of contracting lung cancer from radon has been reduced significantly. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful. If you're concerned for your family's health and the risks posed by radon gas entering your home, and you can see that it's really not that difficult of a task if you tried to undertake installing a radon mitigation system yourself.
So the system you see here meets the building code for Ontario and Canada. You'll want to check your local building codes. I know they do differ from region to region. In some cases, you're required to locate the fan outside the living area, so on the exterior house or in the attic. It differs from region to region, so check your local codes. Again, hopefully this was helpful. Thanks for watching.